me, the model student. I'm finally back on my bench, and we're finally back doing what we love, creating and building and, learning how to do stuff that we see on YouTube. So I'm just kind of working away on a little base here that I've done for these two, I guess, little figures. This one was a resin figure I've got in 120 scale that should go pretty good in scale and theme with the Ma.K kits from Hasegawa that I've kind of taken a shining to lately. And this little dude here was a 1/35th scale. Was it a Thunderball, I think? Something like that. Fireball. My apologies. But these were at the model show. These were like a little figure. They're a vinyl figure. They're semi-posable, I guess. His feet turn around and stuff. But they were pre-painted, pre-finished. And he came on this little stand that they give you with it. There was two different. I got another one too. But anyways, these were the two types that they had. And I wanted to replace this stem here. I could have cut this off, I suppose, but I thought I just went with a piece of sprue. Oh, sorry. I just went with a piece of sprue and just sort of bent it to get the shape that I want. And I've poked a hole here. And I'm just getting ready to hot glue him into position. I kind of want him looking like he's just taken off. I'm going to add some cotton here, I think, to him. So I'm just going to get this glue in here as close as I can. I should be able to hide this all with the smoke. So, oops. So let's get a shot right down in there. Let's just hold that, let that set. And hopefully this holds him in place so I can get the illusion that he's taken off. I'll be able to pop him off. I think I might add a little bit more weathering to him, although there is some on these little vinyl kits. These are so cool. Got the box somewhere. They came in like a small matchbox, like if you're a kid like me from the 60s. We used to get our matchbox in an actual matchbox, which I don't think they do anymore. I don't know if that's going to stay. I need it to hold his weight. So I think I'll get to give it another shot here on the other side. Just get it stuck right in. You know what? Why don't we just take the weight off this thing first? Let's hold it in place and pop him off. That's probably a better idea. You were always learning, I tell ya. So anyways, this is nice to be back on my bench. I've been really sidetracked for building and creating any content for a few months. Had a few things come up, just life, how it does, and was pretty busy. Pardon my arm. It's pretty busy for a while, so it was taking a lot out of me physically, and I was just too wore out to get on here and get motivated. I did build a couple small sort of projects along the way, but I think we'll get into a cover. I have a friend of mine who suggested, I'd been looking for some resin figures, and I'd been looking around, and I wasn't really finding a lot of what I wanted to find. And he suggested AliExpress, and I tried AliExpress, and that's where I found this figure and a host of other figures that I've been doing. If you've been watching any of the new content that I've put up just recently, there are some of these small 135 sort of like Ma.K sci-fi sort of vehicles, resins that I got, and we'll take a look at those a little bit later, and I'll show you what they are, and I'll give you my opinion on what I think of them and the quality of them and stuff. They're reasonably priced, and I have no idea if these are pirated at all. I mean, I don't know how I would even find out. I tried to look to see, but it's impossible to tell. But anyways, I thought this would make a pretty cool base. I took some old broken concrete, and I used a latex bonding agent, which is actually made for masonry in this case. And I just took a piece of gator board, and yeah, I just laid on the bonding agent and then chose out my pieces of concrete. I just wanted it to look like it was a pretty devastated area, and make a nice little base for this guy. And I think I'm going to use this guy, even though he's at 1/35 scale and he's supposed to be a fireball suit with a human inside it. In this case, I'm going to use him like as if he's a drone. You know, like a droid. He can fly and survey and target, and obviously he has a weapon. So I thought it would kind of be cool. The colors sort of work together. And now with the base, before I sort of maybe get the smoke going, I thought about maybe doing it in a winter type thing. I got this two types of snow, and I was looking. I've got these Ma.K interactive micro balloons. I'll give you a shot of that there. I haven't used these at all. I got them at the hobby shop a while ago because I knew I was going to do some winter stuff. And this is really, really fine. You can see how powdery and fine that is. And then I compared it to this other stuff that I have, which is Hobby Round. Let's see right here. This is Hobby Round snow. And if you can see, it's more granular in its consistency. And this is really powdery, almost really, really fine. So I think this will be beautiful for like your 172, 148, maybe 132 scale. But I think at that 120 scale, I think I'm going to go with this one. And yeah, I just want to kind of scatter some around on here, maybe just a bit on the edges, just to give the suggestion that it's frosty, that it's cold, and barren and icy. And I do have my water effects out here somewhere. I'll lay some puddles around in here of ice. Oh, here it is. I'll use some of this stuff here, this transparent water gel by Interactive, and I used a little bit of this on one little experiment that I was working on, and it seemed to work really cool. So I'm going to use, obviously, make more use of it for puddles and whatnot. But I thought in this case I'd use it to make kind of the illusion of ice. Okay, he looks good. Let's set you on there. Let's see. Because this being a piece of sprue, I can bend it, I guess, if I need to. And there's just a little shaft right here, sort of, kind of, where he gets... Oh! Get his foot back on. Oh, I better do that first, I guess. There we go. Let's sort of splay his feet a little bit. There. He looks like he's taken off. Get this into the slottage. Yoink! I think that puts him on right there. Okay, there he is, taken off. Yeah, so I think if I display him sort of like this, you can see him and have this guy sort of standing behind here on the broken concrete. They're surveying. I have his helmet here that goes on, so get his helmet on him. But yeah, the only thing I did that was different to this guy was I added this antenna. I just took a nice piece of sprue and stretched it right out there, and I thought he needed some sort of, with this backpack, it just sort of, I don't know, added that little thing to it. I think I might add, this was just paint that was on the sprue, and I think when it stretched out it went this black ring, so I think I might do some of that, just a couple black rings here going up, just to suggest that it's sort of camouflaged even. But cool figure, really neat. I'll take you through the ones that I bought and what I paid for them, and I'll let you know what I thought about how they went together. Now this stuff, I think if I just kind of pull it into tendrils and just sort of get them coming out of each jet nozzle and then combining together, I'm hoping I can get the illusion. Now I suppose it's always possible from underneath I could drill a hole and put a little light in there, but that I don't know about. I do want to light something though this year. I have never lighted a model, so I really am curious to see what I can do. Now I cut this with scissors, so I want to kind of sort of fluff out this edge, get it more random. I guess like that. Oops. Well, let's see if I have these two coming out, and now I got below. Now if I can, I'd like to wrap it around this to give it some cover. Oh. Get this wisp stuck right in there. Spin them around. That's coming up maybe a little far. I guess I could spray this with hairspray. Now I can still see my gray stick, but not too bad. It sort of hides it a bit. You get a pair of tweezers for this, but they're on the other table. Yeah, I think poking that up and get me where I need to go. I'm just trying to, you know, disguise my rod here as best as possible. Get this swirling up around. Inside here, and I think I got the color of the rod close enough to this body color that can't see. I just want to tuck this around if I can. I think we can. It's cotton. It's fairly flexible. So it's great to be back. It's great to have you here with me. If you are here, sitting with me, I missed my well, just sharing what you're doing and what you're up to. I'm a kind of a private person by nature. I don't really go out of my way to make a big deal of what I do, but I enjoy sharing what I'm learning and stuff on YouTube because the model building is new to me, relatively. It's only been the last maybe four or 5 years that I've excuse me, picked up the hobby to the degree that I do it now, and I really enjoy it. And I hope that other people, if one person sees one of my videos and decides that they want to build a model and get turned on like I did when I first saw my first Flories video, I really feel great about that because that's really brought a lot of joy to me. So okay, that's not looking too bad. Get this guy bent around so he looks like he's coming out of the jet thing. More and pushing. Oh, starting to come along. Starting to look like something. Might resemble smoke. Sort of hide that. Roll that around. I think I'll give it a spray with some hairspray. Stiffen it up. But okay, well, cool. I'm digging that. I guess I could airbrush some smoke and stuff onto here to give it the sell the illusion a little more. Not sure where I want him. I did have a spot, but it was over there, so maybe space them out a bit. Sort of maybe display like that so it looks like they're covering some ground. There's a little helmet. Okay, yeah, so I think I'll add maybe some scorch marks or some dry, but I don't know. I think I'm going to go mostly with this natural looking concrete. This was just broken up off a concrete floor. It had been a skim of concrete over top. You see how thick it was. And I just kept the pieces in a bag, and I thought, you know what, this is almost scale to large chunks for what I want to do. So I kept it, and I sort of forgot about it. I remembered I had a bag of it, so I thought that might make an interesting little display for this guy. I have plans for this guy with my Ma.K camel, which I mean, I think I might get into this year. We'll see. I've got a lot of plans, so I'll start sharing them with you now that we're back. But it's great to have you here with me. Just give me a minute. I'm going to slide this off the table, and I'll be right back with a product review of a new set of paints that I just got in. So let me get back, and we'll take a look at that.
Sportsline, lots to get to. We're keeping an eye on what's going on down under the Australian Open. The play is actually happening right now. We have Felix He's got 2 sets against Spain's Alejandro Davidovich Fokino. He's looking to join Leylah Fernandez, who in the wee early morning hours, she dropped her first set, but then won the next 2. She is off to the third round. But let's start about what's happening down the 4-3 today and tonight. What a week it's been, and it culminates this afternoon when the official passing of the ownership torch Michael Andlauer to Zach Hyman and his family of the Bulldogs. But that's not all, because it comes at a big night for the Dogs, as all eyes of the OHL and a lot of NHL scouts will be at the Civic Center. It's the inaugural Connor McDavid OHL Top Prospects game. And the Bulldogs' Jake O'Brien, he will captain the East squad and be joined by fellow Dogs Joshua Avery and their goalie, David Egoroff. To face a talented roster from the West. Want to give a few shout-outs to some other locals that are going to be there. Brantford's Lucas Camiras, who plays for Brampton, he'll be there. Caleb Deitch from Niagara Lake, who plays for Ottawa, he'll be there. Jacob LeBron from Port Colborne, who plays for North Bay, he will be there. Somebody who won't be there playing is Stony Creek's Matthew Schaefer. He broke his collarbone at the World Juniors. There is good news for Matthew, because he will have his time in the sun, because he is one of the top-rated North American skaters for the upcoming draft into the NHL. So
this is the inaugural game of this. So this is a way so that scouts don't have to travel to all over, right?
Yeah,
they can go, and then fans can. That's a great idea.
It's a big thing for Brantford, for all the fans to be able to see this, and it comes at a time there's a lot going on. And despite the game being named after him, Connor McDavid will not be in Brantford, as his Oilers have a game tonight in Minnesota, and the same could be said for his line mate and the new owner of the Bulldogs, Zach Hyman. He's not going to be there physically because of his game tonight, but he's said to be joining over Zoom this afternoon for the press conference. He was excited about the purchase for him and his family, along with the city, when he was asked about it yesterday.
Hockey obviously is my life, my family's life, and really excited to be able to do something with the family and be involved with the city of Brantford, and just really looking forward to a lot of great years ahead, and it'll be fun. The announcement will be great. The announcement happened, but the press conference will be great. We'll have some cool info, and don't want to give too much away, but very excited.
Yeah, that's the thing. His season is the same time as the Bulldog season. So, hands-on, he won't be at many games, because he won't be able to go to many games. It was good what he said about Brantford. They're excited to
It kind of signals to me that they plan to keep the team.
Sure. Yeah, and that's what you're going to say right off the top. You're not going to come in and say, hey, everybody, thank you, see ya.
Well, because they're in the middle of a 3-year
Yeah. So this is the second year.
Yeah.
So they got one more year after this. But then they got to figure out what they're going to do with the rink. Because they can't, because they play the smallest rink in the league. So they need to do something with that. Press conference is 4 o'clock this afternoon, so we're going to be all over that. Some bugs will happen at all. The evening news at 6. We'll have a recap of that. Last night, we'll talk about that next hour. What do we think of time? Let's talk about my snowblower. Very exciting. Very exciting. But we have a good hack if you don't like a good snowblower when it comes to removing snow. Check out Jack's dad, who says a snow day hates his dad as he lays down plastic ahead of the storm.
I know people that have done
and
it.
then just pulls it up. Looks a bit too easy to me.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, for one. You feel like if that's a heavy snowfall, it takes more than one person.
And that's a lot of
do
vapor
that.
barrier.
Yeah. Well, how do you even the vapor? It looks pretty neat though. How does the vapor
it
barrier
stay
stay
on?
there? If it's got to be no winds whatsoever for that vapor barrier to be.
Yeah, unless you really anchor the thing down with all kinds of rocks and I don't know.
And then it
And
makes
then
it
you
that
can't
much
park
harder.
on the driveway.
And how much snow are you getting? You know, heavy, wet snow that dumps on top
Right?
of that.
That
You're
would
gonna pull it and it's all going to rip. And
Look at us.
And what I did see somebody do, they put it on their front steps.
Okay.
And then they just pulled out the tablecloth.
You see people who have those things that go on your windshields too, that you strap it on your windshield, and then you can take it off.
Settled in all across southern Western Ontario. For school today, we should climb to -5. Still a wind chill of -12, so a cold day with flurries and mainly cloudy. Could see a little bit of sunshine. Snow squalls still coming off Lake Huron, Georgian Bay. They continue. If you're driving in those areas, you've got to be really careful because the visibility can change really quickly. All of a sudden, you're into a snowstorm you can't see. So be really careful driving to the north around the lakes. We've got a ridge of high pressure just to the south of us, but incoming wind last week was going to bring fires and moderate temperatures, but it's going to be fairly short-lived. And then we'll be back into that deep freeze, and it's going to be really cold as we pick up next week. And we could get, Hamilton could get a couple of centimeters of snow tomorrow, but we're looking at hot possibly 5 to 10 centimeters of snow for the Niagara region, including Caves and Simpson for the days tomorrow. So out the door, 15th of January already. It's minus 13, wind chill minus 19. Skies are still mainly clear. Long range and treated.
All right, gonna get into our first.
Wow, look at that. Automax has draws on Tuesdays and Fridays.
Awesome. Before we take a look at the Duncan Rhodes paints, this just came, and I thought I would open up. It's one of my orders from AliExpress. Probably some resin figures, I'm thinking. So, yeah, I thought quickly I would share with you what comes in the box. So, here, I'll go overhead here. Let's take a look and see what I got. Now, I've made an order for a few things. They're coming at different times, so over the next month, we'll be getting a few deliveries, and it should be kind of cool. And we'll get ourselves some figures to go with our projects. Here we go. I think I got, it shows like 2 delivered. Oh, thank you card. Attention. Satisfied, please give 5 points. Well, that's probably social credit score for them. Nice little box. Always have uses for little boxes. Let's start with the small one. Let's see what's in here. Let's see. Everything that I've received so far has been really well packaged. There was a set of 5 modern soldiers that I ordered, and I got the same package of soldiers was offered on Amazon, and the same was offered on AliExpress. The exact same figures for a price difference of $70. So yeah, we'll take a look at those later and see. So here is a 1/20th scale. I thought this would go good with the Machine and Krieger figures. Maybe the Falk, which I have. So yeah, this is a woman officer, mechanic. Oh, she's got some booty going on. And she's carrying a jerry can. And I guess, is that the spout? That's the spout. Oh, nothing looks broken again. We got a good figure here. This was, I think, $8 plus $5 shipping, so I think it was around $13 maybe Canadian for this figure. So not bad, I guess. There's not really any flashing. The detail looks good. The proportion seems about right. We'll have to compare her to our other figures, but there's her hand. Let's cut those gates off. So there's her hand. That's kind of nice. So we can kind of sort of position this can how we want. We want on a bit of an angle. There's the spout. Not too bad. And our jerry can. Clean up the bottom. Okay, well, lines are in there. Cool. Well, she's definitely going to get put into a little vignette with somebody, that's for sure. Let's stick these back in there. In there. Yeah. There we go. There. Don't get broken. There we go. Okay, cool. Set that over there. Oh, let's see what's in this one. I think this one is a vehicle, like a spider leg type sort of thing, I think, or crab, if I remember correctly. We shall see in a second. Well, there's the big package. Get this stain off me. Wood stain is the worst to get out of your nails. Anticipation grows. Yep. Oh wow, that looks, wow, look at the fins on that. Oh, this looks pretty cool. Now this one here is like a, there's our pilot. There's some of our housing. Little rivet detail. Look at these turbine things here. Look at this. Got a couple damaged fins here. No way to replace those. I guess I'll just have to make it look like it's been damaged, I guess. Look at how thin that is. Too bad. A little bit of a print flaw. Or a mold flaw. Hatches. Like this is the cockpit. Oh, this looks pretty cool. There's the cockpit chair. I think these are appendages, I'm going to assume. Some little bits here. Oh, some little guns. Huh. Small guns. I don't know what that is. Something. Okay, and there's our pilot. Oh, he's a buff. What's with our pilot? He's jacked. This guy's out of hand. Another gun here. This needs to be straightened out. It's got a bit of a wang to it. Let's clip on somewhere. I think you can use hot water to soften this and get it straight. I think. And then this dude is like, wowzers. Look at this dude. He's jacked. Well, we'll see what he looks like in there. Oh, yep. Fits in the chair fairly good. Got a bit of a cone head. Excuse me. Yeah, look at these cables going through. That looks kind of neat. Whatever fits in here. Okay. Well, looks like a fairly comprehensive little kit for us to glue together. See if we can find. Yeah, so here it is. Let's here we go. This is what it's supposed to look like. Right here. And hey, he doesn't quite look as jacked in there. His helmet looks a little bit better. I'm sure we could paint him up. I have to put like a mask over his face, I think. But pretty cool looking vehicle. The detail on it looks really good. I guess those turbine things go inside of those. Looks like those turbine things sit inside of these things. But yeah, cool looking vehicle. This should look kind of neat. I think marching along with a half track or something. We'll figure something out. But yeah, what was this? 25 bucks with free shipping. So I thought, you know, that looked pretty good. And here it is. So maybe we'll throw this thing together next week. Let's see what it looks like. Anyways, that's a quick look at the figures from Alibaba that we got. And this one here is self-explanatory when you look at her on the thing. Give her a nice paint job. But it's nice to have figures that sort of are going to go along with your builds, I find. Sort of opens up your creativity a little bit, so you can start thinking of what you might want to do with your model. But let me put this away, and we'll get out the paint set, and we'll take a look at seeing some of the colors and how it works. I'm pretty excited to get these new paints. So let me put this away, and I'll be right back. Okay, let's try some of these Duncan Rhodes paints. I thought the probably best place to start would be with a figure. I'm going to use this 1/20th scale figure that we got to give it a try, because I think these paints are primarily designed for figure painting. I'm in the wargaming and kind of endeavor, so I thought let's give them a try. So I kind of went ahead and started. I broke out the pale skin. That's this one here, and got a coat. Couple coats on it. Take a look there and see. And the lights are making it look more pale, but it's actually a pretty good tone for skin. With a wash on top, I think it's going to come pretty good. But we'll see. I'm just going to go with these colors that I'm going to show you, and we'll just see what kind of coverage and how they look when we're done. So that's the skin tone, which is this one, the pale skin. And I thought for her uniform, I'm thinking on using this with the Falk, and I think I'm going to do it in some sort of like a navy sort of scheme, like a blue, maybe blue color or off green. So I thought for her uniform, I would use these. So I've got here in the tricolor an oxidation green, and so that's for the shadow. This is for the mid-tone, which is antiquity green, and the highlights are in a mythic. Here we go, mythic turquoise, and then there's also a blue wash. It's a Aztec turquoise wash that I think we can try, see what happens, see what they look like. So I think the way I'm going to go about this is I'm going to base coat in this oxidation green in the dark shadow, and then I'm going to dry brush over in the mid-tone, which is this antiquity green, and then I'm going to do highlights, detail highlights with the mythic turquoise, and then we'll try a wash over top once we're done. So yeah, I mean, for you, we'll go to probably fast forward, I guess, but I think I'll start with a base coat of oxidation green in the Duncan Rhodes paints, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, so here we go. Let's give her a good shake. I'm not going to use my wet palette or anything for this test. I just cleaned it out and stuff. I'm not going to really start it. I know I'm going to be throwing a new paper in it when I get started on her next project, which we'll be taking a look at next time pretty shortly. I've got a little plan for I have a base that I've worked on. I'll show it to you, and I have an idea for, I think, the spider type crab vehicle that we looked at, and two more, a Schwimmer and a horse, the big car, German car, both World War II era. I think they'll kind of go together cool. Just picking out some figures and stuff to go with it. But anyways, let's oh, we got a little bit of action going on here. A little bit of tip bleed coming out. Nice rich color though. I noticed with the flesh tone, the color was really good. Now what brush do I want to use here? I'm just going to throw a coat on. So this little short wide brush should be fine. Put a little water here just to keep things flowy. I'll just get this brush moistened off. Okay, this is a nice consistency going here. Ooh. I'm just going to go to the overhead so you can see what the heck is going on. Here we go. Well, I'm just going to milk this up a bit and get her out. My primer doesn't like that. Too washy. And you see how it's bleeding, so we'll go with a thicker mix. I'm getting a bit of that. I wonder why. That might be the primer that I used. I used a black primer, and then I used a gray primer just to give like a, what's that, the Xenotroper, that sort of highlight sort of spray on it. And yeah, I don't know. I never really had problems with primer before. Should be dry. I did this last night when I primed it. It's pretty early in the morning right now. It's about where I am right now. It's about 5:30, 5:45, I guess. Okay, so I'm gonna just keep working this so I don't get that bleeding. It's almost like when you go with water over oil. I may have to keep that in mind when I prime the next thing I do with this. Yeah, that's not good. Don't like that. I like the color. Coverage would be good without this beading. I think that's my fault though. I think this gray I put on top is reacting with the water base, the acrylic. That's what it seems to do. We'll work around it. Well, this isn't really the best way to tell for coverage, is it? I'm really struggling to get a coat on her. I think what I'll do maybe is I'll get a coat on her jacket, and then I may just reprime, mask that off, and reprime her pants with just the black, and just give it a dry brush highlight with acrylic before I go, because this is not ideal. Obviously. I'm just going to keep working this paint, not let it stay long enough to stay where we don't want it. Just don't want it beating up like that. And on the finish, seems like if I keep brushing it, it eventually does want to take. I mean, you want to thin your paint, so to go full thickness, I mean, I think I'd rather just keep working it like this to get this to cover. I don't think I have much of a choice at this point. Just get the first little go around here. Flow into that line. It seems like it wants to really act really well. He didn't have this trouble with the face for some reason. Well, I mean, maybe I did a little bit, maybe just at the beginning, but it wasn't as persistent as I'm seeing here. Yeah, see, it wants to wick away from my line, but we're getting it. Patience is the key. That's the one thing that modeling has taught me. Patience. I was impatient, I think, kind of like not just always wanting to go. Things go and, you know, get quick results from the way you're doing or what you're doing. Yeah, the patience of model building is definitely a skill that's acquired. I think we all struggle with that. You just want to see what it's going to look like done sometimes. Or we get planned in the next project before we're done the one we're on. That's pretty common too, with me anyways. But that's what modeling's for. That's what's nice about having a stash, is that you can change your mind and do what you want, put something in a drawer or in a box, come back to it when the mood strikes you again. That's the thing about this kind of hobby, is it's so diversified. You can really kind of change it up a lot of different ways of keeping yourself interested, you know, in what it is that you're doing. I have to take another look at that can of gray primer that I used, because I'm almost feeling like her feet are still just that like a bit sticky. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I didn't shake it enough. It's not like me. I usually shake it till it's broken. Ha ha ha. Shake it, don't break it, baby. Okay, well, I'm gonna just get this coat down on here, and then once it's dry, we'll come back and we'll get into the dry brush with the next color, and we'll go from there. So here we go. Double speed.